welcome back to Your Daily Dungeon, Episode 4. We're still in Death House. I actually am probably going to let this title be up in the air. I haven't decided to name it yet. But I'm excited to see what Kyle will come up with. I'm sure there'll be some shenanigans in here that'll appropriately title the episode.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call it appropriately titled episode.
Oh.
Oh, perfect. We got it, guys.
Title _ placeholder. .mp4.
DJ names the episode. Alrighty. So, you ascend the stairwell. Unlit oil lamps are mounted on the walls of an elegant hall, and hanging above the mantelpiece is a wooden framed portrait of the family that once resided in this house. You see a man, the man with a beautiful mustache, absolutely gorgeous, well kept, everything like that. Very Victorian, very thick.
Probably not as good as DJ's, but
It's definitely better than yours. He doesn't have a beard. Your beard's much better than his, but his mustache is hands down. Like, Theodore Roosevelt would be honored to even look at it.
Oh, man. That sounds
DJ's not super impressed. He's just like kind of impressed, I guess. I don't know.
But he does beard oil.
Do what?
So the portrait is actually got little plaques with the names underneath it. It says Gustav and Elizabeth Durst, and the two children, Rosavalda
And Fred. Fred Durst.
I'm not sure, but we yeah, sure. And you see that that one of the two children is cradling a swaddled baby. Oh, sorry, it's in the father's arms, is a swaddled baby. In the portrait, you can see that the mother kind of regards the swaddled baby with a bit of scorn.
Oh. Maybe that was not her baby.
Oh my god.
Is there
What?
is there a
that?
plaque that reads what the baby's name is?
Walter.
It's the maids.
So wait, what are the other two kids' names?
Rose and Thorn. Their full names are Rosa and Thornbolt.
Okay.
Fred Durst.
And then we have Walter.
Mm-hmm. The baby.
Walter the baby.
Walter Durst.
Okay, so...
Nice. Okay.
So standing suits of armor flank wooden doors in the east and west walls. Each suit of armor clutches a spear and has a visored helm shaped like a wolf's head. The doors are carved with dancing youths, although... Go ahead and take a closer look at them.
The doors?
The dancing youths.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I'll perception that up.
Roll perception.
Yeah.
Can I do investigation?
No.
Oh.
16, Ian.
12.
0.
You may take your passive as...
Oh yeah, 9.
12 is better than my passive.
So, you see that upon close inspection, worked into the eavings of these doors, they're not actually young children dancing, but rather bats.
Ugh.
Oh,
Okay.
and actually, they aren't dancing, they're fighting off swarms of bats.
Wait.
Bats are fighting bats?
No, like
the youth are fighting off bats. They're not dancing.
Oh.
Mm.
You also notice that
was
Like baseball bats. They're fighting
Yes.
bats with baseball bats.
Oh,
Damn it.
whomever
So
their
there are.
decorator was
So
was-
from this room, you see that there are 3 doors, and the stairwell continues to wind up. A chill, very, very frigid air drifts from the 3rd floor above you.
Let's not go up there yet.
Yeah.
He just says, let's Shall we explore this second floor or whatever?
Yeah, DJ. Pick a door.
Yeah, DJ, pay door.
So
Alright.
there's a double door to your left, to your right, and directly next to the stairs, there's a door.
We'll take the double door to the left.
I knew it.
So you walk over to the door, and you get a good tug, and the door swings open, and you see gossamer drapes cover the windows of this elegantly appointed hall, which has a brass-plated chandelier hanging from the ceiling, and upholstered chairs line the walls, and stained glass windows hangings depict beautiful men, women, and children singing and playing instruments. A large harpsichord with a bench rests in the northwest corner. Near the fireplace is a large standing harp as well. Alabaster figurines of well-dressed dancers adorn the mantelpiece.
So there's the harpsichord, there's all this stuff. Is there anything else of particular interest, like if we were to look around? Find
If you want
something.
to look around the room, you could. There are 3 windows that look out into the street that are covered by drapes. There is a fireplace, and you see all these chairs. This probably looks like maybe a conservatory or a dancing room, some sort of entertainment lounge.
Okay. DJ will actually walk into the room, unless he'd already assumed that he'd done so.
No, I
So-
stopped DJ. I'm like, hey DJ, I bet you 5 gold that harp starts playing itself.
DJ looks to see how much gold he has. It's a bet.
All right.
If not, then DJ wants to play it. But
All right, we walk into the room.
So you walk into the room, and DJ, you see the lid of the harpsichord lift itself up, and the peg in it slides up and locks into place on the harpsichord.
wait, what? So like opens up.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Mel. It's like slightly kind of like frightened, but like also kind of frustrated, you know. Like DJ's he's unsettled by this, right? But
I just give him a wink.
As you the harpsichord move into position, you see the chair slide itself back a few feet before being kind of like nudged back into its position, and the harpsichord does not play as the harp begins to strum itself.
DJ doesn't make that noise. he just turns to Mel. I mean, it's still creepy, but like, you know.
I just like begrudgingly give him 5 gold.
So all of a sudden, all the chairs in the room lift up and start sliding around the room, going from place to place. DJ and Mel, who are farthest into the room, I need deck saves.
Oh man. What'd you roll, DJ?
I rolled a 13.
Okay. What about you, Mel?
Same.
All right. So a chair slides past and almost scoops up both DJ and Mel. Amnon and Norik, you see this before stepping into the room fully. The chairs look to be aggressively pursuing them as they come back in for another scoop up.
Be our guest. Be our guest. This very demented minor version of it playing.
It's not even minor; it's just straight up diminished.
Oh God.
God.
Haha. Haha. Yeah.
I'm just gonna stand there and watch.
We're like,
Intervene. I'm gonna see if they can, step out of the way of the chair.
yeah, we're like avoiding these chairs. I don't want to sit.
So the chairs slide around a bit, trying to like grasp hold of you, before aligning themselves into a order. And all of a sudden, spectral images of people dressed in ball gowns and dancing garb appears, and you see 8 men standing in front of 8 chairs with 8 women in ball gowns seated in them. You see the master and his wife are playing separate instruments on the opposite side of the room. The master at the harpsichord and his wife upon the harp.
Wait, is the harpsichord playing?
Yes.
I will look at DJ.
But it's the spectral image.
It's not really there, DJ. It's playing itself.
If you look at the harpsichord, the keys are not being depressed, but the strings of the harp are actually being moved.
You played
All right.
yourself.
I'll give Mel 2 gold back.
No, you can give me my 5 gold back and then pay me another 5 gold.
I'll give Mel his 5 gold back, but that's it. That's all he's getting back.
I'll
After-
remember that.
After a moment, the couple starts playing, and the dancers begin to dance. You see the children are sitting in the room, up against the wall, watching from afar. The boy goes to stand up, and his sister tugs on him. And as she tugs on him, the boy lets loose his little stitchy doll, and it flies across the room and lands on the ground. It trips one of the dancers. She falls, and you all hear the sounds of an auditory bone snapping.
Ooh.
There are several cries of fear and shock as you guys' woman's neck is bent in an inhuman fashion. She lays upon the floor. Her heel punctured through the stitchy, tearing off one of its arms.
Well, rest in peace.
The father stands up and marches across the room, while the mother runs over to the dead woman and crouches down. You see all the other guests begin to kind of like look around the room, and the father stands up as the man of the dead woman begins to argue with him. Before the father can approach the young boy, the boy and the girl start to bolt, and the mother is seen running across the room after the young boy. You see him strike him across the back of the head as he tumbles and falls. The sister stands up, runs over and scoops up the young boy before she is struck as well, and they both run out the room, the mother in tow behind them. The father and the man argue for a moment as the rest of the guests look nervous and uncomfortable, and the man punches the father across the face. The father looks at him with a grin and gives a curt bow before reaching up, and he puts his index and thumb to his mustache, and he makes a motion. The most of you kind of realize it must have been a whistle. The man of the dead woman, looking a bit triumphant but also sad at the same time, crouches down and huddles over the woman. You see 8 hooded figures in robes enter and draw blades. The crowd steps away in fear as the hooded figures begin to draw those away with weapons pointed at their backs and things and drag them out the room. The man over the dead woman stands and looks at the master of the house and pulls out a dagger to defend himself. The cultists fall upon him, stabbing him multiple times until he's dead upon his beloved as well. The scene begins to fade away. The only left is the father's smile and a glow in his eyes.
Is that it?
Yes.
Once.
Was the baby there?
The baby was not in the...
The baby was probably being kept by the milkmaid. Anyway, so probably how it was. Anyway, want to investigate this room.
Okay.
I wanna see what I can see about it. I think this
Ian,
man.
is there any...
I think this man was working. Here's the thing. I'm not entirely sure, but I have a theory about this guy, the master of the house. Tell me what y'all think.
Are you saying this in character?
Yes,
Okay.
this is in character. I think this guy is not a leader of a cult. But
You think he's not? Not?
yeah, I think whomever is in charge of this cult, like, I think he's more of not a puppet master, but he's more of like just a puppet who's higher up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like he's something like he thinks he has power, but not really. You know, someone has power over him. He just thinks he has more power.
that's what. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
but I don't know. This is a really weird thing.
Something was very wrong with this family. The way they abuse their children, as well as these strange occurrences. But I'm still not sure what this has to do with us. Or Strahd.
Whatever happened here, this Strahd fellow had something to do with it.
Yes.
Maybe Strahd's the leader of this cult.
Maybe.
I think that's very possible.
So, I don't know. I think it's worth investigating this room, though.
Yes. Let's investigate the room.
So,
Light spilling into the room.
I'm sorry. Does light what now?
Is there any moonlight coming into the room?
No.
Dijo is...
The drapes
Sorry.
are closed over the windows.
Try to open the drapes.
All right. You go to tug on the drapes, and they refuse to budge.
Can Dijo start a fire in the fireplace?
Sure. Yeah.
Dijo makes sure that everyone sees him do this. And I just start a fire in the fireplace. I have a tinderbox.
So your fire once again begins to play. You hear the tentative steps of a waltz begin to trickle through the air as you hear the dum 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 of the string is being played.
On the harp?
Mm-hmm. As the strings are played, wisdom save from everybody.
Oh god. Well, wisdom's one of my better saves. So.
3.
11.
Nope.
8.
5.
Oh.
It's so close to a 20 too.
So,
Oh my gosh.
as the harp begins to play, you all feel the sudden compulsion to waltz with the nearest individual to you. Dijo, Amnon comes springing over to you, taking the male position.
Oh.
While
Oh.
Norik, you spin off and make a beautiful, elegant gesture away from the window, as Mel jumps over the harpsichord's bench, sliding across it smooth, taking your hand.
This must have been quite the scene.
Oh my gosh.
So I look at him and I go, "What are you doing?"
I don't know.
I want to dance with somebody. I want to be the heat with somebody.
I'm just like, I don't know. I guess we're dancing.
I'm still convinced that Mel somehow has from the curtain to dance with him as a joke.
You see that Mel's body movements are more compulsory than his own decisions.
I guess I put two and two together, and I realized like this is something else.
Yeah. Maybe it'll end soon. I hope.
How long do you watch this spectacle, Dark?
I'm gonna break away from this dance.
Okay. So Mel continues to dance as though a partner was with him.
Story of his life.
Oh man.
Ian, this actually kind of, I feel like this kind of stirs up something. It gets a little sad. His own personal reasons with, like, the fact that he's dancing by himself. Has nothing to do with you, Norik. Just.
Norik doesn't take it personally.
As kind of a memory to himself, kind of keeps. I think that, yeah, it's a sad moment for. Sad moment.
Norik, you see that the harpsichord continues to play.
Can I attempt to
not the harpsichord, the harp.
Oh, thank God.
smash the harp?
Just the harp, you said?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that's playing.
Yeah, you said you smashed the harp?
Just I don't know. I go and I try to knock it over, hoping that will this trance or whatever this is.
Okay.
Sounds sexy.
So you walk over to the harp and you swing at it. The strings break free from it and wrap themselves around your wrists and legs and hold you out suspended as the music stops.
Are we still dancing?
No, the dancing, you're compulsed to dance, and you see Norik be swung upside down as the harpsichord awkwardly begins to waddle its way towards the fire.
Oh, that's...
Oh, yes.
Okay, I put out the fire. I go over there to put out the fire.
Oh crap. I wanna. Crap.
What do we have? What do we have to put the fire out with?
More fire!
Wait, hey, I have a crowbar.
You gonna beat Norik over the head so he doesn't feel it?
Exactly.
No, I was thinking I would try and put the fire out with the crowbar, but I don't know if that would work.
All right, while this is going on, can I try to struggle free from these strings?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a strength save.
I want to back up, kind of away from it, and cast firebolt at it.
At the harp? Okay. You hit it automatically. It doesn't really resist itself. Roll damage.
Cool.
You wanted a strength save?
Yes.
4.
Okay.
4 damage.
22.
Yeah, you rip yourself free of the strings as Mel blasts it with a firebolt, roasting it in its place. The harpsichord splinters and falls to pieces.
Or the harp?
Yeah, the harp, sorry.
Damn
Dijo was kind of wanting to play the harpsichord, but now he's kind of scared too.
The fire instantly dies as the harpsichord begins to rumble and the keys begin to fire out of it like machine gun rounds.
Holy crap.
What? Okay.
You see the not the head, the actual panel of the back of the thing snaps the wooden stake out from underneath it as it plunges out into the air, and you see its legs splay out behind it like a bull almost, and it begins to kind of like tumble in place for a second as the keys stop firing out in all directions. You hear the sounds of the strings inside of it splay and shoot out, bursting from its seams as it looks like it's about to charge.
Oh crap. Scatter!
This is eerily reminiscent of Mario 64.
Oh god.
I haven't played Mario 64, so I'll take your word for it.
You haven't... We're not gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Really?
Another day.
Different podcast.
76.
So Nord, you broke yourself free. You collapsed on the ground, and now you're kind of pulling yourself back together. You look up and you see this harpsichord just start charging at you. The stake that was shattered, holding up the lid, now pointed directly at you.
From me.
Mm-hmm.
How far away? Do I have time to sort of jump out of the way?
Yeah, it's about 30 feet away from you.
I'm coming. Just you wait.
I'm gonna try to cast another firebolt at the harpsichord.
You hit it. Go ahead and just roll damage. Nord, you want to get out of the way?
No, I want to cast a firebolt at it as well.
All right. You both automatically hit it. Go ahead and roll damage.
I rolled a 6.
6, okay.
I rolled a 7.
What did you roll?
7.
7 damage. All right. So it takes what, 13 points of damage. It starts to charge. The firebolt first crashes into the lid, blowing it off. Its strings and keys exploding at the back end of it as it kind of starts to stumble and fall. Your second firebolt sweeps the feet out from underneath it as it crashes onto the ground. Its keys exploding at the front end of it, almost as if its bowels have been spilled out upon the ground. You hear the harpsichord groan a moment as the house kind of also makes a tumbling sound as the wood settles. The room and the fire suddenly go dark. All that remains is the coming from the hallway.
And my lantern.
And your lantern.
Well, I think we should probably get out of here. Unless there's something else obvious that we should check out.
DJ, I think I won by technicality. The harpsichord did come alive.
Alright, fine. I give Mel 5 gold.
Yes.
All right, so you guys exit that room, turn back to the main hall.
I guess so.
Unless there's like something obvious that we should check out.
No.
All right, then let's GTF.
Okay.
All right, so you step back out into the little area out there, the upper hall. Yeah, you see there's still a double door across the way and a door immediately beside the stairwell.
Which one's the furthest to the left?
The one directly in front of you. The double door.
DJ walks toward that one.
Okay. You walk over to the upper door, to the double door, and the two pieces of armor in front of it slide their axes as you approach it. Slide their spears, sorry.
We haven't
Like
gained
blocking
access.
me?
We haven't gained access to the boss yet.
Need the red key.
Yep.
I just kind of grab DJ by the shoulders. And it's like, maybe not that door.
Maybe Mel should try talking to them.
The helmets turn and look at you, their eyes suddenly glowing to life. And one goes to take a step out to furnish a weapon before it crumbles to pieces on the ground, completely inert. The second one holds its spear out, lifts it up, and the spear in its arm extends instead of being thrown, catching you off guard, DJ. 22 to hit strikes you.
It does in fact hit me, surprisingly.
Very
Dijo is impaled and lifted off the ground 5 feet.
God.
Yikes.
Dijo, you take 16 points of damage as this thing sails Dijo across the room and is implanted on the door to the conservatory ballroom.
Jesus.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
Hey, DJ, how's it hanging?
So I'm stuck to the wall.
Yeah.
You okay there, buddy?
No, I don't think I'm okay.
Okay. All right. We're gonna.
How's it hanging?
Is the thing still moving?
It is standing still on a platform.
Okay.
I'm just gonna shoot an Eldritch Blast at the armor.
All right, roll to hit.
I attempt to get DJ off the wall.
Don't hurt me.
Mel, so Dijo's pinned up against the wall. You can try to get him out from his right side, which is closer to the stairwell, or the left side, which is closer to the fireplace wall. You have to duck underneath the spear to do one or the other.
I rolled a 14.
Your Eldritch Blast hits the armor and splashes around it, doing nothing to it.
I'll do. You say closer to the stairwell or closer to the fireplace?
Yeah, one or the other. You have to duck under the spear to get him out, or you can stay on one side, opposite of the door.
Stay on one side, opposite of the door.
Okay. So, are you trying to?
Let's see. I'm just like, all right, this is gonna hurt, and I just like grip it and just yank it out.
So the spear is extended the animated armor. Pulling it out would be possible unless you pull the actual armor away from Dijo. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's extended straight across the room like fucking a power pole.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. So this is what I'm doing. I'm taking my fire bolts and I'm concentrating them in like one area of the spear, trying to break it, trying to like burn it apart.
Ooh, yeah. So this starts working. You see that the begins to solder on the solder away. Norik, you haven't done anything yet. What would you like to do?
Take your.
Yeah, I'm going to swing at it with my greatsword.
All right, roll the hit. At advantage, it's completely stationary. Your melee
Can I
attack
do
has it.
this? Yeah. 20.
That is a hit. Roll damage.
It's 2d6. 5. Oh. 13.
Don't forget to add your strength. What'd you get?
13.
What'd you get?
13. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
No,
you're breaking out right at the beginning of it. That word.
13.
13. All right.
Yeah.
So you're hitting the armor, or you're hitting the spear, or what?
Hitting the armor.
All right. You strike the armor, and it crumples before your blow, barely staying functional, as its helmeted face opens up, and you see a swarm of insects begin to fly down the spear towards Dijo. They're like crawling. They're like crawling themselves down the spear.
Oh crap! And I just start trying to go faster. I'm just like, come on.
Can I cast a firebolt at the insects?
Eldritch Blast of the insects.
Go ahead. Yeah, both of you roll the hit. You both fire at the pole that it's holding Dijo. Eric, I'm gonna roll another save on the thing. It survives one more. Eric, it's barely hanging on.
7 for my firebolt.
20.
That's a hit.
Sorry, hold on. A 14.
I did the wrong.
All right, both of you hit and did damage. Did you both roll damage?
5 damage.
I rolled 7 damage.
Alrighty. So you both strike the pole on one end. The insects are obliterated for a moment, like a wave would be if you were to throw a rock into it, before immediately reforming and continuing to run down the pole. There's a continuous stream coming out of the helmet's face. Eric, one more time. Let's see. The metal pole is severed from Dijo as Dijo continues to remain suspended in the air, impaled by the spike that is still holding him there. The insects begin to immediately evaporate at the severing of the spear as the helmet shuts closed and the armor collapses into the ground, completely inert.
Oh, kind of breathe for a second. All right, DJ, you ready? I just grab the spear and I'm just like, it's gonna hurt.
Just do it. Just do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Dijo falls 5 feet and like collapses on the ground. He's bleeding a good little bit as well.
Dijo is not doing too hot. He's breathing a lot. He's breathing a lot or not a lot, depending on how you look at it.
On a scale of 1 to
his max health, he's not doing too hot.
Yep. I'm at about a 3 right now, so
either of y'all got some bandages or something?
Can I rip off? I have a cloak. Can I rip off a piece of my cloak to try to stop the bleeding?
Does anybody have any kind of, or something like that? Any kind of medical supplies on them that would just be good for covering a wound up?
Nope.
I do not.
No adventurers pack or explorers pack or anything?
I have a scholar's pack.
I also have a scholar's pack.
I mean, I have a burglar's pack. I have a set of dark common clothes.
We'll go ahead and say that, Dylan, you can use your cloak that you have. You can rip a piece of that off to bandage the wound, and you can make a medicine check at disadvantage to help the wound.
I can cauterize it.
That would help.
Yeah.
That sounds painful.
It is painful, and I just like summon a firebolt in my hand and just hold it up to the wound. It's probably excruciatingly painful.
You just hear just like shriek in pain. He's like, ah!
So do you still want me to make a medicine check?
Yes.
At least to bandage it correctly. What'd you roll there, Dylan?
A 14.
All right. So let's see here, Dijo. You get back. Oh wow, nice. You get back 5 points of health from this quick little patch up job.
Praise.
We'll get you right whenever we find Watt. But for now.
Dijo is visibly appreciative of his friend's attempts to save his life.
At least you're not going to bleed out, buddy.
So the door to the master suite in front of you, not master suite, just the door to the room in front of you bursts open. Really, it doesn't burst open. It kind of like the door unlatches. You hear an audible unlatching as the door slowly swings open.
All right. Someone else go first.
Yeah. Nork, why don't you go in first?
Yeah, I was about to. I'll go first.
So, Nork, you enter into this room, or rather approach it. You see red velvet drapes cover the windows of this room. An exquisite mahogany desk and a matching high-back chair face the entrance and the fireplace. Let's see here. The fireplace is to your left in this square-shaped room. There's like a little small rectangular alcove that kind of connects to the actual full rectangle of the room. It looks like this room is actually a library. Let's see here.
Oh.
Above which hangs above this fireplace hangs a framed picture of a windmill perched atop a rocky crag. You recognize the windmill from that crest that you saw at the entrance to the house on that shield.
Okay.
Situated in corners of the room are two overstuffed chairs. Floor-to-ceiling bookshelves line the south wall, so that'd be to your right. And it's to your back right and your side right. A rolling wooden ladder allows more easily reach one to. Oh, it's actually you definitely can reach one or more. Two people can climb on this ladder to reach the various levels of these shelves. These books line the right side of this room. There's a shelf in the middle of the room, and there's also a shelf that kind of borders the wall over here.
I'm just like perfect. Oh, by the way, guys, I don't know if y'all knew this. I used to be a librarian, and I just go over to the bookshelf.
Yeah, DJ wants to find a book, or DJ looks around at the books, see if he sees anything interesting.
I'm gonna go over to the desk to inspect it, see if I find anything.
And what's Amnon doing?
I'm also just gonna kind of take a look around.
I'm looking for something specific.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for a history of Barovia.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and make a investigation at advantage.
Nat 20.
Yeah.
Hey!
Boom.
Eric, you find an assortment of books and novels on the history of Barovia inside this house. They are of great detail and great expense. If you wanted to spend some time studying these books, you could take a short rest inside this room.
I think that would be.
Yeah.
Take a short rest, and I can read up.
More
information.
what,
Where the hell we
sorry.
are.
Would I find any sort of interesting books, Ian, while I'm looking at them?
You can roll an investigation check as well.
Okay.
Also, you can roll your short rest hit dice to get some health back.
15. 1 second.
Ian.
That's 22, Ian. Total.
Okay. That's 22 health, you said? Or
Oh, sorry, for investigation.
Alright, and you can roll up to 3d8, I believe, for health. And yes, Kyle.
I'm going to be looking for books about the religions of Barovia.
Go ahead and roll an investigation. And then to Dylan. Dylan, you walk over to the desk and you see that there are several items resting atop it. An empty oil lamp. Well, not empty, but an unlit oil lamp. A jar of ink. A quill pen. A tinder box. And a letter kit containing a red wax candle. 4 blank sheets of parchment. And a wooden seal bearing the family's insignia, a windmill.
Okay.
The desk drawer is empty except for an iron key.
I rolled a 13 on that investigation check, by the way.
Okay. With the assistance of Mel, he's able to point you in the right direction, and you find some books. Basically, Mel's able to that he's looking for, and if you were to ask him for something, he can find it.
Gotcha.
Did you say anything about my investigation check?
What were you looking for specifically?
I want to look for some books. Maybe I'm not looking for something specific, just something interesting that might be helpful. Something about Barovia, the
Dude, I got a whole
deities here. So
Yeah.
I had a 22.
Mel, what do you give to Djo to read? You can pretty much anything you can think of, Eric, you can give to him.
So, so I have the history. I just got Amnon to find like some religion stuff about Barovia.
Mhm.
So, what is?
Oh, what about something about Strahd? Maybe there's something about him specifically.
Yeah. Is there anything that we can find that might be directed like about Strahd, or if Or you know what? People of importance.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Like,
So, in your studies and books, Eric, you come across a section in the back right corner that contains a very eccentric amount of books, or for an eclectic taste. Some stuff detailing lycanthropy and vampirism, as well as the study of the various creatures that you find in Barovia. And here you find some books about the actual history of Barovia, Lord Barov himself, the man the country is named after, and the conquest of the Barovian Valley. Additionally, you find a strange red book with nothing on it on the spine. It's the only book that doesn't have anything on the spine to indicate what kind of book it is.
I kind of do a quick glance through the book. Like, go to
See-
like the title page.
So you go to pull the book off the shelf, and as you yank it, the door, not the door, yeah, actually, the door to the room shuts, and you hear the sounds of clicking on the like bookshelf you're on, as the bookshelf kind of clicks and unhinges. It springs, and it slightly pops open.
Oh. That's
Mm.
cool.
Well, looks like that's the only way to go from here.
Well, look, let's finish our rest and
Yeah.
Eric, your extensive time in library indicates that door shut probably just to keep people from going in and out the room at this point. But if you would have replaced the book, you'd probably unlock the door to the main hall.
Gotcha. All right. So I say we're not going to go in there right now. Let's
Yeah.
read up. Let's take a rest and read up. I want to figure out some more information about. And I go over to the desk again,
Mm-hmm.
and I put on my half moon spectacles, and I've got like 5 books in front of me, and I just start flipping open and start reading about the history of Barovia and start trying to learn more about this place.
Is
Man.
DJ able to find anything in?
And I give everybody a book to read, like
So,
everybody's reading.
I will do a quick important information cover. There's a lot of here that I don't want to spend too long getting into. That's what
Yeah.
the campaign's about, right?
Yeah.
So I will actually spend some time messaging each one of you afterwards to talk to you about what your character has learned in regards to what you've read here. But I'll give you a quick gloss over of what each one of your characters reads about. We'll start with Eric. You did history, right?
Zach, take notes. Yes, I did history.
So the history of Barovia is long, antiquated, and never boring at any point. And it's bereft with sadness and loss and pain. The shorthand of it is that Strahd was the son of Lord Barov and is an incredibly great man, or was at one point. And a great tragedy befell him, and it has caused him to become a grief-stricken man, and it caused him to fall to dark powers, and it's corrupted him and the land that he now masters. You learn quite a bit about Strahd and the horrors he's done to the people of this land, and the village that you know in Barovia is particularly his punching bag. His castle, Ravenloft, is the one that you saw peeking over the cliffside, looking down upon the village itself when you came here first. You have a good idea that Strahd is the master of this land, and he pulls the strings. Of the largest and most key events you come across, you hear of the fall of the Silver Dragon and the Hall Argynvostholt, in which a silver dragon was murdered and his bones scattered about the land. which would explain the silver dragon scabbard.
Oh man.
You know about the werewolves that have been constantly plaguing the lands, and you learn a little bit about them. And you learn about Strahd's brother Sergei and his lover Tatiana, but you don't know anything else about them, as all the pages in that section of the history of the book are completely torn free of it. So we'll move on to Amnon.
Hey, what was the girl's name?
Tatiana.
Oh, by the way, the silver dragon. I go over to Norik and I like kind of lift up his brand new sword,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of like reference that part of it. I'm just like, that's what you have. By the way, just so you know.
So Amnon, you're flipping through the primary religions of Barovia. They worship the Morning Lord and Mother Night. You get a little bit of information out of it that the Morning Lord has kind of come and gone. His power has waned a great deal since Strahd's rule has come about. Eric would have informed you this during his readings. He probably would have known that you would have been looking for this sort of information. And that Mother Night now holds complete sway over most of Barovia. That those who worship the Morning Lord get very little from him.
It's probably the religion that Strahd worships at, huh? Mother Night.
What Strahd's beliefs and his personal goals are not really even detailed in the book at all. A lot about Strahd is not in the history book, other than his deeds inside the actual lands that are known. But his personal beliefs and so on and so forth are not detailed in the books you find here.
Do we get symbols for these two religions?
You do. I'll have to send you a picture of them later because I can't describe to them right now. I'd have to find them in the book.
Do either one of them match the ring that we saw earlier?
Negative, Ghost Rider. You actually come across that symbol mentioned very briefly and only small text. It's really not detailed at all. You kind of gather that this particular information might be found somewhere else in this house, as a matter of fact. You only get the name Osybus. Osybus.
Okay.
Alrighty, and then finally, Dijo, you were going through the books and you were looking for information about Barovia in general. You come across a map of Barovia.
Okay.
And I'll probably just send you a referral of what the map looks like so that Dijo can commit it to memory. You'll be able to traverse Barovia more accurately and be less concerned about perhaps being lost in the mist from this point on. With Dijo's help, you'll be able to do it a little more accurately.
Okay.
Additionally, Dijo, you come across the mentioning of the city Valaki, and it's mentioned as the last bastion.
Okay. The city of Valaki.
Vallaki.
Say that one more time.
Vallaki.
The last. What did you say? Stronghold.
The last bastion.
Bastion. Okay.
Eric, you would have read a good little bit about the Vistani, but I'm going to go into them at a later point. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm going to give you guys out of character information as well, because this is a good little bit of stuff here. This is your opportunity as characters to get into it, and I want to talk about it more, but I don't want to relegate it all to one episode. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't want it to be an
okey-dokey.
exposition machine.
Correct, Amundo. A library with somebody rolling a 20 on the library is certainly worth the reward, and I'll give it to you guys. But I don't want to like overload the audience and you with information right this second.
Yeah. I mean, I used to be a librarian, so yeah.
I used to be a librarian. I used to be a bit of a librarian myself.
And then you took a spear to the shoulder.
A book to the knee.
Rip.
Alrighty. So you finish your. Did you roll all, Zach, or what? All
Do
three
what?
of your dice. Did you roll all three of your
Oh
hit
yeah,
dice?
I actually I got plus 12. And that
Okay.
ended up giving me full health. So
Okay. So a well-deserved rest to DJ.
absolutely, he was ready to get back in action.
Mm-hmm. You can't
Yes.
roll any more. You can't roll any more. This rest in.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
All of your short rest abilities would come off a cooldown now. I don't know if Save Face is a short rest.
It is a short rest.
Okay. So, you finished reading. You finished. The house seems to have not bothered you in the hour you took to read and understand things.
How nice of it.
It seems like the house wants us to figure out what's going on.
Possibly.
Maybe this
So-
is the one room where it can't affect us, hence why the blocked us from entering.
Hmm. Perhaps. Who knows?
So you do have that back room to go into.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Did you
hidden-
say it was on the desk that I inspected?
Not a whole lot of interesting stuff, but you did find that iron key in one of the drawers.
Take that. I'm also going to take the tinder box.
Okay. Make note of both of those on your character sheet that you have a key. Do you inspect the key? I didn't ask. Sorry.
Insignias on it.
Yeah, you inspect the key, and it's got a G on it. Not a G, sorry. It's got a D on it. You assume for Durst, along with the windmill insignia on it. And it's like a skeleton key, so it's got like that big hole on the back end of it, and through it, it's like a little looped, like bobble. That's like I got a piece of paper attached to it, and that reads R and T.
Did you say it had a windmill on it?
Yes.
So you can now open all doors with a windmill insignia on it.
Glad we've come across so many of those.
Anyway, so go ahead and actually give me an intelligence check when you read the letters R and T.
Could I help him with that and give him advantage?
Only if he hit the key.
If he lets me see it?
Yeah.
I don't, from those letters.
What did you roll?
N.
I didn't hear what he say, guys. Did you hear what he said?
No.
Cut out.
What did you roll, Dylan?
10.
10. Okay. You're not really sure if you remember anything about those letters. They strike you as familiar, though.
Over to Mel and ask if he.
Mel, go ahead and roll an intelligence check at advantage.
At advantage. Ooh. That's a 14 and 21.
Mel, it occurs to you that the name of the children both started with R and T.
Oh. Looks like the name of the children initials.
Key is to their room, which might be what's upstairs.
Now, did they say the monster was in the attic? or
Basement.
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 In the
Yeah.
basement. Gotcha. Okay.
You've been traveling up because you found no way to go down.
Yeah. Unless the only way down is up.
That's some Hoovian shit right there, huh?
We only think we're going up, but we're actually going down.
Alrighty. So, that's all with the key. Where to next?
We're gonna go through that secret door.
Okay. So you walk over to the little shelf, pull the book, and the door pops open, and you can hinge it over to that so that it blocks the window. And now you see to this secret room, which contains bookshelves packed with tomes describing what looks to be like fiendish summoning rituals and necromantic rituals of a cult. You see that symbol hangs off of the ceiling, off of a wooden placard, finely made.
Ian,
Yes.
I want to inspect these tomes.
Okay.
And
Go ahead and give me an
Arcana check, what'd you say?
yes. Yeah, an Arcana check. Kyle, Amnon instantly recognizes the symbol.
I rolled 23. I am on fire with these rolls.
So you immediately recognize that like almost all of these rituals and spells are completely fucking bogus. That these guys are full of shit. That the only thing that they ever succeeded necromantically doing is creating this house, which is a feat unto itself, but they've done nothing else.
Good. I'm not going to tell Mel that.
No, Mel is the one that, because he rolled that Arcana check.
Okay.
Amnon, you just are figuring out that like, oh, this house is a cult of Ozibus. Mel doesn't know what the name of the cult is. He just knows that they're necromancers.
So none of these are like any useful.
No, none of them are
None of them are legit.
Yeah, it looks like this room is like a private study for the master of the house to just kind of write his own thoughts and attempt to make his own spells. You do see a heavy wooden chest with clawed iron feet standing against the south wall. Its lid is half closed, and sticking out of the chest is a skeleton in leather armor.
I'm going to... Oh, no, wait. I was about to say something that my character might not know.
Ian?
You can PM me.
Alright, Ian.
Yes.
I cast Blade Ward on myself.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go over and open the chest.
You open the chest and you hear the sound air compressed as nothing happens. Closer inspection reveals that the skeleton belongs to what was formerly a human who triggered a poison dart trap. You see 3 darts are stuck in the dead adventurer's armor and rib cage. The dart firing mechanism is still there, but has no darts in it to fire.
Never mind, Ian.
Okay. Clutched in the skeleton's left hand is a letter bearing a seal with that same raven symbol on it that you saw from the tavern that you were in.
Ooh.
Oh, shit. I snatch up the letter and just immediately open it up.
You see that it is a Strahd von Zedovich, which the adventurer tried to remove from the chest. It is written in a flowing script, and it reads as follows. My most pathetic servants, I am not a messiah sent to you by the dark powers of this land. I have not come to lead you on a path to immortality. However, many souls you have bled on your hidden altar, however many visitors you have tortured in your dungeon, know that you are not the ones who brought me to this beautiful land. You are but worms, writhing in my earth. You say that you are cursed, your fortune spent, your abandoned love for madness took solace in the bosom of another woman and sired a stillborn son. cursed by darkness? Of that I have no doubt. Save you from your wretched... I think not. I much prefer you as you are. Signed, your dread lord and master, Strahd von Zedovich.
I got it all figured out now.
You got it figured out?
Yeah, I think so.
What do you think?
I think that this house really doesn't have much to do with Strahd himself. I think that the master of this house, Durst, and his wife, or maybe just him, but maybe his wife is involved too, were the leaders of this cult, of this deity, Ozibus, and were trying to, in some sort of way, they thought Strahd was, like he said, he's like their messiah, was their chosen one, was trying to impress him by summoning Ozibus or trying to do something in his name. Maybe they think Ozibus sent him to take over, and so that's why they formed this cult and started leading cult meetings out of here. But something went really horribly wrong when they formed this house.
It's interesting.
I think you're onto something.
Yeah.
I pocket the letter.
Inside the chest, you see 3 black books wrapped with a red satin wrap in black leather. You see 3 spell scrolls, a deed, another deed with a windmill insignia on it, and a signed will.
Ian, what are the spell scrolls? What are they?
One is bless. Another is protection from poison. And the other is spiritual weapon.
Those are all like divine.
Yeah, but you can still cast them.
Spiritual weapon would actually be.
Spiritual weapon's helpful.
I want to like copy them into my spell book, but that takes time and money. So
What are the books?
I tell the party what they do. I tell the party what they are,
Mm-hmm.
and then let's look at
You
the
did.
deed.
You did have those 3. You do have 3 black books as well.
3 black books. Yes, I'm a stickler for books here. Come on.
It looks like they're bound with some sort of magic. You could probably open them with some time, but if you were to do it now, you might blow yourself the fuck up.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. If I see that, I'm gonna just put them in my bag. Okay, hold on. I need to put this in my. The spell scrolls were bless,
Protection from poison.
I bet that one guy sure could use that. I guess there's no way we would know who that guy was, right?
Just some adventurer.
Okay. Who was that letter addressed to? Again, Ian.
More than likely, it was addressed to Gustav.
Okay. Why would this dude have it? Did he just found it or something? Or...
Well, we got the will and 2 different deeds here in this chest, so this might be like a shame of Gustav. He might have put it in there to hide it from the rest of the cult.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So it's two black.
3 black books.
3 black books, and they have protection magic on them.
Mm-hmm. You'd think you could easily dispel with some time.
Gotcha.
Okay. Anything else in this room you have questions about?
Oh, I also take the deed and the, what is it, a will?
Mm-hmm. There are 2 deeds in a will.
I take the 2 deeds and a will.
Okay. Are you taking the letter also?
Yeah, I'm taking everything.
Okay.
I'm curious as to what. So one of those deeds has the crest of the house on it, right? On the wax seal.
Mm-hmm.
And what does the other one have? Does the other one have the same seal?
The other one actually isn't closed, and if you look at it, it looks like a deed to the house itself. It looks like it has some sort of necromantic ritual on it.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Said it's 2 deeds.
Mm-hmm.
And a will.
Mm-hmm.
Does the will have anything important on it or interesting?
Yeah, if you read the will, it's just by Gustav and Elizabeth Durst, and it bequeaths the house, and it mentions a windmill as well, and all other family property to Rosavalda and Thornbolt Durst in the events of their deaths.
Hmm.
Don't mention him to that 3rd kid.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
There's something fishy about this baby.
I mean, the baby was mentioned in the letter, I think, as a stillborn child.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Huh.
It's true. They were necromancers.
Wait, what was the baby mentioned as?
Oh.
As stillborn.
Oh.
Light bulb! Things are starting to piece together. Oh, I like this.
Yep.
We're getting all the information. Oh man, this is like my character's loving this right now. Now I have all this stuff.
As someone who's been involved in religious rituals before, Amnon's a little freaked out and is just gonna kind of walk out of the room.
Everything about this house is fucking crazy.
This room does not bother me whatsoever.
Anything
I'm
else?
sure.
Is there anything else of note in this secret room?
Nah, really?
Yeah.
Unless you're a fan of that plaque hanging there in the middle.
What does it look like?
It's just a wooden plaque painted black and green to represent Ozibus.
I remember what it looks like. Study it.
Looks just like the ring.
Yeah, which I know what that looks like too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I haven't found any more information about Ozibus anywhere around here.
Not in particular. It seems that, like, perhaps Ozibus is not particularly a major deity in this land.
Yeah. Makes sense, I guess, when in context.
Mm.
Alright. I guess let's move on.
Yeah.
GTF out of this library.
Okay. So you guys exit the library and return back to that main hallway, and you see that there's still that one door right there next to the stairwell, and then the stairwell up.
Whichever one is closest to the left.
That would be the stairwell doorway.
Like, it's still on this floor, right? Or...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you walk over and you poke your head into that door, and you see that it could be just an undecorated bedroom containing a pair of beds with straw-stuffed mattresses, and at the foot of each bed is an empty footlocker. Tidy servants' uniforms hang from hooks in the adjoining closet. You also see at the back of the room what looks to be like a dumbwaiter.
A what?
A dumbwaiter.
Like a
Like a elevator for food.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
You've never seen those?
No, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It looks like this room might actually be directly above the room that Watt was sucked into.
Oh.
Mm.
Mm.
We want to send something down the dumbwaiter?
Open up the door, throw Dijo down.
Wait. Well, let's.
It might be worth going down that way to see if we can save Watt.
Yeah.
Well,
because Dijo, you can't really take too many more hits. I mean, like, you're at full health now, but
I can't take very many hits in general.
So as you guys are sitting here discussing what to do next, you hear the dumbwaiter bell, bzzz, and you hear the sounds of the shuffling elevator as it takes a moment, and the dumbwaiter door slides open, and you see Watt's head roll out on a platter and splatter on the ground.
Oh!
What?
Oh! That's not okay.
The dumbwaiter explodes with a blood waterfall as it begins to pool out and slams against the door you have opened.
This is some
Okay,
Evil
Shining.
Dead shit right here.
Oh god.
You see one crumpled body unfold itself from the spewing dumbwaiter, and it begins to kind of like crumple its way back into an upright form, and it begins to shuffle its way to the door.
Teacher's just in shock. He's like, that can't be what? That can't be him. He can't be dead.
Might be an illusion. Might be an illusion.
Are we salient enough to say, like, we've seen this before in this house, this probably isn't real?
You see the head kind of like roll up and look at you guys and go like, "Hi guys."
I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
I just like Dijo, remember, Strahd said he had plans for us. Okay. Maybe what? Like
The
what?
arm of Watt decomposes and falls off the side of off his body.
Oh,
Here.
God.
Okay, you're right. It's probably not real.
The head goes like, "Oh, no problem. I'll just cast Cure Wounds."
No. It's
Stop.
not real, Dijo, it's not real. It's okay.
It
I'm
shuffles
just, like, calming
forward.
down.
It's about 10 feet from Dijo now.
Dijo kicks the head. He kicks the head.
I just kind of like push Dijo back, and I'm just like standing between him and Juan.
The head bites your shoe, Dijo.
Dijo shrieks in pain. It's like, ah! I mean, that's not what he sounds like, you know. But...
Yeah, the body decomposes before your eye hits the ground, and you see its rib cage kind of like snap out the sides of its body and lift the torso up and start crawling towards you like a spider.
I literally hate all of this.
I'm just kind of like pushing Dijo back and like.
Do you shut the door yet?
Yeah, no, we get the fuck out of this room.
All right, yeah, you shut the door and you hear the sounds of scampering, like I guess they would be rib cage, like bones on the door as it tries to shuffle up the door.
Odd.
You look, DJ, you look down and you see Watt's head still biting your shoe.
But it's still on my shoe.
Mm-hmm.
I step on it. I just like. I try to get it off as any way I possibly can.
All right, you like sling your foot, landing in the fireplace. The fireplace goes, lighting a fire quickly, and the head just disappears in the midst of the fire. You hear the house groan and the sounds of running footsteps above your head, and you hear the doors downstairs and on this floor all slam shut simultaneously, and all the lights in the house go out, and the house goes completely black as Mel's lantern goes out. And
It doesn't help, does it?
it does, but that's where we're gonna end it.
Oh.
I was just like, we'll be right back.
All right, guys, good session.
Yeah,
Oh man.
that was fun.
Thanks for
You guys-
watching.
That was some real Evil Dead shit right there.
thank you guys so much for listening. Tune in next week to find out what happens next on floor number 3 of the Death House. Thank you guys so much for listening. Powered by Your Daily Nerd, this is Your Daily Dungeon. Stay nerdy.